So one additional skill that you need to have when working with redox reactions is being able to balance redox reactions. Now, we're going to just do the very basic, and what happens in redox reactions that you don't see in other reactions is not only do you have to balance atoms, but you also have to balance electrons. And so when you're writing the half reaction, electrons are going to be placed on the reactant side if you're dealing with a reduction reaction, because in reduction, remember, you gain electrons. And so if an atom is oxidized, then you're going to put the electrons on the product side. So let's look at an example really quickly. So, all right, this tells me to put the correct number of electrons in the correct place. Well, iron has a +3 charge when it's a reactant and then a +2 charge when it's a product, which tells me that this is being reduced because it is gaining 1 electron. So I'm going to put the electron on the reactant side, and it's just 1 electron. So not too bad. Well, here comes the issue. Well, what if each atom doesn't necessarily gain and lose the same amount? When we're balancing redox reactions, we have to make sure that the number of electrons that are gained equals the number of electrons that are lost, and this is how we do it. If you look at this redox reaction right here, zinc reacts with copper 1 ion to produce zinc ion and copper. So what is being reduced? Well, remember, reduction is gain. So which one is gaining electrons, meaning its charge is becoming more negative? Well, copper, because copper goes from a +1 to 0 charge. So copper is being reduced. Well, if it's being reduced, that means it's gaining electrons. And how many electrons is it gaining? Well, only 1 electron, because it goes from a +1 charge to no charge. Zinc is being oxidized, and which means that it is losing 2 electrons because it's going from no charge to a +2 charge. So I'm going to put 2 electrons on the product side. Here's your issue. I need to make sure that the number of electrons I gain equals the number of electrons I lose. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take my reduction half reaction, and I'm going to have to multiply that entire thing by 2 in order to make sure that I'm gaining 2 electrons, because I'm going to be losing 2 electrons. So this would become 2 copper ions plus 2 electrons produces 2 copper atoms. And now and only now can I add these reactions together. Notice my electrons cancel out, and what I'm left with is 2 copper ions plus zinc, which produces your zinc ions and 2 copper. So there is a balanced redox reaction, making sure that your electrons are balanced. However many you gain equals however many you lose.